I want to show you is also a cover of a magazine, which is the Rolling Stone from 1991, right before Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 came out.
Well, we started touring on that record before it was released, and that was based on Axl hadn't finished the vocals on a few. So we started in Alpine Valley, and that photo shoot was done in New York City by Herb Ritt. So we started the tour. We are already on the tour. And I remember, so the record was like 2 months after we started the tour, and we were playing these songs live. No one ever heard them. But it was kind of cool because it was sort of like Appetite for Destruction that those guys played those songs in clubs and then they made a record. And I always said, God, I wish we could have gone and played that live and then recorded the record because that's always a better result. But because that's why Appetite's so great. They were a club band playing those songs night after night. They went in the studio and Mike Klink put up the mics, and that was what you heard on those Appetite for Destruction. It was a rock band, well rehearsed. And anyway, we get to New York City and someone says we're doing cover Rolling Stone. Herb Ritt, famous fashion photographer, is going to shoot it. And we all go down to the studio, and it's very hoity-toity in a big loft, and there's a lot of people setting lights, and they go makeup, and we're all like makeup. We didn't wear makeup. We weren't that band. We were opposite of makeup. We weren't Poison, so that was more. We didn't really verse ourselves with that whole hair metal makeup vibe. So we were like, no, no makeup. I remember Duff had a massive pimple on the side of his face. It looked like Mount St. Helen. And Herb's like, I can take care of that with lighting, like or something like that. Because Duff didn't want to put anything on or any of that shit. So if you look at Izzy Stradlin in that photograph, so Herbert or Izzy says, Matt, can I borrow a jacket? He came in, he kind of looked like just come off the street. I say, yeah, I got a jacket. So I gave him, that's my jacket. It was my jacket. That's just a regular blazer. And then Herb Ritz walked in. It was like the door open. You could hear, it was like really cool. And he walked in. The camera was all set, the lighting was set, and he literally shot a roll of film to get that photograph, one roll. And then he shot some photos of Axl that are pretty famous, and then some shots of Slash. And then that night, I remember Axl was fairly late to that session. He showed up about an hour and a half late, which he was late a lot. So we were pretty drunk, like, and Slash and like, let's just have some drinks. And, I get a little irritated sometimes when he was late because I don't know. It was always kind of weird. But he came in late and we were a little bit hammered. And then I remember that night we ended up going out to a club called Limelight, which was in this old church. And we all went to celebrate the photo shoot and hang out and party and good times. And that came out. I remember I was like, holy shit, I'm on the cover of the Rolling Stone. And that was a song.
That's it. And did you
And
did you guys sense, or did you have that personal sense that these records were going to be huge, and this was this tour, and this was just going to keep expanding?
it was so much going on around the band. I mean, I guess, people go, oh, it should have been one record or should have been this. But Axl's intention on those records was to make enough music so we could stay out on the road for a long time, which we did. We did the longest running rock tour of all time, I believe, 3.5 years straight. Almost killed us all. But I'm still alive to tell the tale. I can't believe none of us are dead. I'm like, that blows my mind. I looked around at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm like, we're all alive? This is fucking crazy.
Amazing. Have you
But
ever seen the reunited version with Duff, Slash, and Axl?
no, I haven't got the invite.
No.
They like, hey, come watch the band. I'm like, I don't think so. They invited me to come play, and I declined. I didn't think it made sense to go play what two songs and then do what. So I mean, I play music. I play with musicians. It's like they want me to play them. I don't know. So that's cool. Whatever they're doing is cool.
Yeah.
I'm still living this vagabond dream of like, journeyman. Like, I, I kind of like where I'm at as far as taking twists and turns. I'm going to Japan with this trippy thing.
Are you going to tour that
Yeah,
record?
yeah.
Oh,
And then
cool.
Me and Billy, being in the realm of Billy, I'm like, die and go to heaven. It's like that. I always look at that like, well, if I was doing that, I wouldn't be able to do this, and this wouldn't have happened, and this wouldn't have happened over here, and I wouldn't have time for my kid. So all those things in my mind are like, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. And I say that. People go, oh, it's bullshit. He needs to be in the band. I'm like, well, I'll be honest. In the beginning, it was like a little weird. I'm like, okay, well, it's a reunion. Okay, well, make it a reunion. But it didn't go that way. So I'm much more at peace with it than I was in the very beginning. And I'll be honest. I mean, people can say whatever they want, but it's like, you know, and a guy that called me and actually talked to me about it was Ringo. And he said, he didn't get invited to the party. I said, no, I didn't get invited to the party. If you never, and you'll know this, being a person, if you don't get invited to a party, I mean, come on, it's going to sting a little bit. It's like, I didn't get invited to the party. But he told me a story about him and John and Paul. And I'm like, is he actually saying he's talking about John Lennon? This is crazy. That right there said to me, the universe is on my side. I'm on the phone with Ringo talking about not being invited to the party. That shit, I'm like, bing.